generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. We have not done an unboxing in a very long time, and so we thought, what better way to do an unboxing than the brand new Nintendo Switch 2. We were very fortunate to get our hands on it. I will say, when we went to pick them up, there was quite a few extra, so that's kind of different this time around with consoles being released. Yeah, so this one in particular is the Mario Kart Digital Bundle. My guess is that the majority of it is all the same. It's probably just the code in here is different. But I will show you the different sides of the box. So there's the front. You can tell that it's the one with the Mario Kart because of this up here.
Thought it was very interesting. It's not different packaging. It's just a sticker on the regular packaging.
Right, because like when they gave it to us, I thought they had given us the wrong one at first because there was no indication that this was a Mario Kart bundle besides that sticker. You know, normally there's some sort of like graphic on the box, but it's whatever. Maybe that's just Nintendo being lazy, who knows. But nonetheless, it's still going to be a lot of fun. So, I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to say, but I don't remember.
Is it the other item that we got with it?
No, not yet. I wanted to say what the contents are in the box here. Of course, you get the console. You get both the left and the right Joy-Con, the new versions, the Joy-Con 2s. You get the AC adapter, the USB-C charging cable, the new dock, the grips and the straps for the Joy-Cons, and then the ultra high speed HDMI cable. So hopefully that'll be the best cable you can buy for it. Who knows? We did get a special item with our Switch, so we were there for the midnight release, and we got one of these with it. I have not opened it yet, so let's go ahead and see what it actually is. I think it's a coin, but it sounded like a pin, and I can confirm it is a coin. And we went to, where did we go, Sarah?
Best Buy.
We went to Best Buy, and that is on the back of the coin. So this must have been specific to Best Buy. That's pretty cool. It's got the logo for Switch 2. It even has the year that we were there. You want to check it out?
It is their new logo. They've been changing their logo at Best Buy.
Start unboxing this bad boy. Lucky for us, if you ever pre-ordered or did an in-store pickup for Best Buy, you know that they put a sticker on the box. There's actually been some people that you can see right here on the top, if you put something here, there were some stores that were stapling stuff to it and then damaging the console. That's really bad.
It's kind of crazy that the screen is that close to the front of the box. There's no like foam padding or anything that goes on top of it.
This screen is huge. Like, I know they've been saying it's bigger. Look at that.
It's like a full-blown tablet.
Of course, the screen's bigger. The Joy-Cons are going to be bigger too, right? I'll admit, I have pretty big, fat hands. These are going to be amazing, I think, of an upgrade for me. Every now and then I would use like an attachment we got from Target, where it would make it feel, a little bit thicker, and it was easier on my hands. But here I have unboxed the left controller. I try to give it a little feel here, see how the buttons feel. They feel pretty darn good. Stick feels great. This is one of the major upgrades right here, is that the buttons inside here are bigger, And honestly, they look more like actual buttons. Honestly, before they just look like, not the greatest thing, I would say. But they do feel great. When I used to play on the Switch 1, it was hard for me to sometimes hit the buttons that I meant to hit because there was a lot of space in between there. It's probably triple the size of that button on the Switch 1 controllers, and it's going to be very, very good. I can already tell. I don't know if you wanted to give it a feel.
One thing I was looking at with the actual Switch display itself is that I heard there was a protective film over the screen that you're supposed to not peel off. I don't even really see it. Like, I think you'd have to really work at it to find it to peel it off. It's not like there's a little peely tab or anything.
So for those of you that like to peel the thing off of electronics, was there one?
It's on right now if there is one, because I didn't take anything off.
Yeah, I don't see a darn thing. So I do have the other controller, the one that has the new chat button down here. I am going to go ahead. I want to see how easy it is to magnetically put these things together. Let's see. That was pretty darn easy. I'm not going to do anything crazy here. But from the commercial or the insiders that got their hands on these first, they were not wrong. You can hold it by the controller and dangle it.
That's got some pretty good grip to it.
Yeah, and then to take off the control here, let's get this out of the way. To take off the controllers.
I'm assuming it's this button?
I think so. How easy is that?
Oh, it like pops it. It's so as you push this little button in the back here, it will extend a little push knob on the blue part. You can see it sticking out there. So it like pushes it off of the unit. It's kind of hard to describe.
Latch in, push the button. That is super easy. And what I think also makes it, it makes it easy, but I don't know quite the word. It like gives you leverage. So like when you are going to take it off and you push on this, it's actually like, when you go to push that, you're putting force towards the console. So it almost is kind of just doing it by itself when you just push the button. You don't actually have to like pull very hard necessarily. So that's awesome.
I feel like it's a really nice accessibility feature too for somebody who, might not have as fine dexterity or fine motor skills. The old buttons were so tiny and then you had to slide the Joy-Con off, right? This button, I feel like it takes more force to push the button than the other one, but the buttons are a lot bigger.
I will say, I think this is a downgrade from the OLED. I thought that was going to be filled in. It is not. So I'm not a big fan of that. So the Switch ones, at least my OLED, had it where when this bottom piece popped out, this was completely filled in. It wasn't flimsy. This feels a little flimsy to me. I do like the idea that it goes all the way across because the original one only had like a little kickstand and it sucked immensely. Now with this whole, big stand piece, it's a lot more secure on the table. It's not gonna wobble and fall over.
I feel like it's pretty sturdy for what it is.
For what it is, sure, but it's not my favorite. I feel like it's a downgrade from what they had. Overall, though, the Switch does look great.
I'm just trying to, push on it to see how flimsy it is. Like if the kickstand will just go right out from underneath itself, but it seems to hold it pretty good.
It looks great. It feels great. I will say, and again, this is just fat hands me, is I wish this was a little thicker maybe, like a little bit thicker this way, just because it still does, I imagine myself getting hand cramps a little bit down the road if I'm playing it for a long period of time, but
So here's a question for you, and I know we haven't turned it on yet, but these new controllers have a mouse-like feature. What does it feel like if you were to roll it on the table? Does it glide nice?
well, I mean, I don't to be fair, I don't really know if I'm using it appropriately. Like, is this how it'll work? I don't know. What I will say, though, and I don't know if Nintendo's going to do this, but if they start bringing out those like computer games like Age of Empires or some old games, like if they remastered Battle for Middle Earth, which was one of my favorite computer games, and the fact that you can use this as a mouse, that would be amazing to bring back onto the console. So if they do a lot of those games where a mouse makes a lot more sense, so like more recent games is like Halo Wars, I could see myself definitely using the feature for that. But for right now, I don't really see myself using the mouse feature at all until I have a reason to. Let's see. I mean, we do have the USB-C up top, and we do have it on the bottom. They added both ports because, of course, if you want to dock it, you probably be using this one. But also, if you're playing it in handheld, a lot of people don't like the cord to come up through the bottom and sit in your lap. A lot of people like it to be up top and out of the way. So that's a good addition there.
I myself am very excited for that feature.
Still have the where you put the games, power and volume.
How easy is it to open that game tab?
It's different. It is very different. So my OLED that I have, the Pokemon one, you like fold it over. This one, it like comes up like a compartment. And then you slide it in there. And then you can just push it back down. So I do kind of like that. You pick it up, it's got enough space in there. My OLED, my complaint is that there isn't a lot of space to bend it. So it feels like when I'm putting the cartridge in that the thing is trying to close on my hands. That's not going to happen with this. There's not nearly as much tension on that button. I don't know if it, out of the box, I don't know if it has much juice. Let's see. Okay, it turns on. It's got to have a decent amount.
When you showed it to the camera, there was nothing on the screen.
Oh, I thought it said Nintendo. So it is booting up. It's got some nice music.
I'm just going to show you how much of the screen there actually is of content. Because there is a little bit of a border to the screen where that's just black.
I say I don't want Nintendo doing any funny business and saying, hey, that music is ours, so they're going to claim the video. So we got we were able to show how much of that screen, great. I just don't want that music playing. No chances taken. In the compartment, where the switch itself was and the controllers underneath where that switch was is the cables. So you got your HDMI cable. You got your grips.
The wrist straps.
Yep, and the wrist straps.
Interesting, they are not, they don't fully cover.
Well, that makes sense because these don't slide in anymore.
Well,
I bet this is magnetic.
I don't think it's for that reason. I think it's for the mouse feature.
Oh, it could be that.
They don't want to cover up the mouse feature because even being magnetic, you could still cover the whole thing, but then the mouse feature wouldn't work.
Of course, you get your little instruction manual, and then if you get the Mario Kart, here it is. Of course, the code is underneath the scratch off, so it won't work for you.
I'd like to put one of these on.
That's the
blue one.
Blue one. There you go. Underneath all of this,
That's backwards.
We got our USB-C cord. We have the power adapter. That's actually pretty heavy. You feel that's like heavier than a baseball.
That's a very heavy brick, yeah.
We have the new. Ooh, I kind of like that. We gotta test this out too.
This doesn't really feel like a magnetic connection. It's more like it snaps on, but it does go on and off pretty easy. So, not in a sense that it's going to fall off, but just in a sense of like it doesn't take very much effort.
So I am very curious to see what this feels like. So for the Switch 1, I hated these. Absolutely hated these. Why? Again, fat hand syndrome. So when I would play, I would use the Pro controller because that fits in my hands nicely. The Switch controllers from the Switch 1, not so much when it was in something like this. So let's put these in here and see how this feels.
With the sliding ones, this handle would go kind of up and over it a little bit on the bottom, but because of it being magnetic, it can't do that anymore.
It is kind of awkward putting it together. I would say it's an improvement. I'm definitely still going to get the Pro controller, but I wouldn't say that I would gravitate to this. It's an improvement, but it's not all the way there for fat hand syndrome.
I use these kinds of controllers all the time with the Switch 1.
What do you think of it?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It would take some getting used to. I honestly think I almost prefer the old one because of what I said about the handle coming up and over it. It made it just a little bit bulkier on the bottom, which made it feel a little more natural, maybe like a PlayStation controller or something like that, you know, where they're a bit more flared out. And with this not being flared out anymore, it's very like, your hands are very close together. I might end up switching to a Pro controller too for when I'm playing on the TV, just because this is a little awkward. That's
not good news.
That's a big change for me.
But
I'll give it a try.
I love Pro controllers. Like, they feel like my PlayStation controller, and you can't go wrong with it, quite honestly.
That base is beefy.
It is. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than the previous ones. So here it is.
And we don't just mean from a screen size, because obviously that has to be bigger. I think we mean more the depth or the thickness of the back panel.
You can see the girth on that bad boy. It is thick. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't break it. This thing has to pop off somehow. Oh, it completely comes off. So the other one, it was a hinge that would drop down. This one just fully came right off. Again, unless I did something wrong, but I don't think I did. There's no hinge.
No, that's meant to pop off.
But yep, you'd plug your stuff into there and plug it into your TV and your power source, and you'd be good to go. There is an Ethernet port, so that's awesome. I might have to get another Ethernet cord so I can hook that up. I don't think I ever did that for our Switch 1.
When these hit the resellers market, I don't mean people, trying to sell these for profit. I just mean like, once people buy these and then they start selling them because they don't need them anymore, because that always happens with any system at some point for some people. How many do you think are going to get traded in with that back panel missing because they just threw it away?
Well, I imagine those are the kind of people that throw away game manuals, and that makes me cringe. So, probably quite a few.
Or game cases.
Game
and
cases,
just having
too.
loose games.
It really makes me cringe at GameStop when I see the... So, super random tangent. If you are that kind of person that likes to do that, the one smart thing that you can do is you can actually sell an empty case for a decent, like $10 or something on eBay, and then you can take the cartridge to GameStop, and they don't give you a different price whether you have the case or not. So you can sell the cartridge to GameStop and then sell the case on eBay and make more money. So.
And then make people like us sad when we go to buy used games and there's no case.
Well, that's okay.
Or no original case.
'Cause we've been buying mostly digital anyways. We don't have to deal with that headache anymore. But that is all the stuff for the Nintendo Switch 2 that is in the box. First impressions, what do you think?
I'm loving the bigger screen. I think I'm going to be playing it handheld quite a bit. The special hand grips to be able to play on the TV while having the controllers connected. I'm a little nervous about that, but I'm excited to at least give it a try.
Yeah, I will do it until our controller comes in the mail, because we have a Pro controller on the way. But I am very excited about this. I think the bigger screen size is awesome. I do think the controllers are an improvement, even if they aren't super big hand friendly. They are more friendly, for sure.
the connectability to the actual Switch unit itself, that is so nice to not have
It
to
is super nice.
slide those on and off anymore.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if that'll be a lot easier for kids too. I would think so, but you never know. Yeah, well, that was our unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. We probably won't do a whole lot more with it just because we don't do Nintendo content because of all the funny business that happens on YouTube with it. But we're not showing any gameplay, and we're not doing any, music or anything long enough to get in trouble. So this is what we got. But if you enjoy this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We will have future unboxings. We have a big unboxing that the two of us are super excited about coming in July. I'll give you a small hint. It is a mystery box that we spent over $1,000 on. And it's going to be awesome. So make sure to come back here for that. Drop us a like if you liked the video and drop us a comment to let us know your thoughts on the Switch 2. Did you get one? What are your thoughts? And also, if you went to a midnight release, was it crazy? Ours was. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.